Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, do you know anything about practical exams? When will they start? Ma'am, you're on mute. We can't hear you. Ma'am, you're
Good
on mute.
afternoon. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. No, when will the practical exam?
Practicals maybe in April 15th onwards.
April 15th. So.
Right.
Ma'am, first batch, second batch, same like that.
Same. First batch 16 days and second batch 16 days. సేమ్ ఉంటుంది టైము ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది మార్నింగ్ నుంచి ఈవినింగ్ వరకు
లాస్ట్ అదే మేడం లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ లాగానే కదా మేడం
సేమ్ లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ లైక్
Okay. I wanted to join first batch, ma'am, but then because of Ramzan, can't join the first batch.
When is Ramzan? Next month.
Ramzan is still 23rd, ma'am. This month only. It will start on 23rd of March.
Okay.
Depends on the moon.
Okay.
If it gets sighted, then 23rd of March. Then the Eid will be on 22nd of April, I guess.
April 22nd. Okay.
So the last 10 days will be very busy, ma'am.
Yeah.
నేను కూడా సెకండ్ బ్యాచ్ వద్దాం అనుకున్నా మేడం.
అంటే అది డీన్ మేడం వాళ్ళు డిసైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు. మీ ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయ్యేది 6th నుంచి. బట్ సమ్ పీపుల్ సేస్ we have intermediate exams, 10th class exams, ma'am. Please postpone in month of April. That's why university are taking decision in next month.
Okay. If they start after 22nd or 23rd, it will be nice. I want to join the first batch only, ma'am.
Okay.
Then we'll get more time to study, no, ma'am.
Exact date I don't know actually. Maybe from 15th onwards, I think. So we will inform soon.
When will the main exam be, ma'am?
Main exam, I don't know main exam. Last time in June or July.
Last time, first years happened in June, ma'am. First years happened in July. Second years happened in June.
Now this year, end of the June.
End of June.
జబర్దస్త్ వర్షంలో రాసిన మనం లాస్ట్ టైం.
ఏం రాసిన?
Practical will happen when time, ma'am?
Yes, Dalia.
Yes, ma'am. When our practical
middle of April, maybe.
Okay, ma'am.
Dates are not confirmed up to today. Okay, so we will inform soon.
Okay.
How many people? 7, 8.
Ma'am, just wait for 5 minutes, then you start, ma'am.
Okay, no problem.
I don't think so many people will come.
Yeah.
Just wait for 5 minutes and start, ma'am.
Okay, 3:53, right? Okay, Desha. Wait 4 or 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
আরে আমাকে দরজা বন্ধ করতে হবে, কি নিয়ে যাচ্ছিস, ফোনটা রেখে যা। চলে আসবি, ঠিক আছে, এর মধ্যে চলে আসবি, 5টার মধ্যে চলে আসবি, আর ফোন দেখবি না কিন্তু। যা।
Ma'am, start, ma'am.
So maybe most of the people maybe in office, right?
Yes, ma'am. And we didn't know, ma'am, that we will be having a class today.
Okay.
That is why.
Only 7 people are present, including 8. Okay, right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, today topic, the next carbon cycle, right? So carbon is an element found through the universe. All of you know about this carbon. So carbon is virtually important molecule in the carbon cycle. So just to wait. Durgesh, ఉన్నావా?
మేడం హలో.
ఇది వాట్సాప్ నోటిఫికేషన్స్ ఎట్లా ఆఫ్ చేయాలి ల్యాప్టాప్ లో? ఏమైనా ఐడియా ఉందా?
వాట్సాప్ నోటిఫికేషన్ మేడం ల్యాప్టాప్ లో వస్తుంది.
సైడ్ సౌండ్ వస్తా ఉంది, ఇది ఎట్లా అని చూస్తుంది.
అది డిజేబుల్ చేసేయండి మేడం.
ఎట్లా చేయాలి ఇది?
అదే ల్యాప్టాప్ లో ఎందుకు వస్తుంది మేడం వాట్సాప్ ది?
అంటే నేను దీంట్లో చేసుకుంటాను. ఏమన్నా మీకు పీపీటీ చేయాలంటే దీంట్లో చేస్తాను. సిస్టమ్ లో ఉంటుంది కదా ల్యాప్టాప్ లో.
అవునవును మేడం, అవును.
డిజేబుల్ నోటిఫికేషన్. ఓకే, రైట్. ఓకే, రైట్.
This whole chapter is on carbon cycle only.
Yes. So this is only carbon cycle. Okay.
Okay, we have this question in our assignment.
Yeah, they are asking. Okay. So what is the carbon cycle? They are asking only carbon cycle in 5 marks. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it is virtually important molecule in the.
We have already read it in first year also, ma'am.
Okay, no problems.
Very small. We just had 1 paragraph in first year.
Okay, of course, it is percentage is less compared to other gases, right? So it is found in all living things also. And without carbon, what is happening? without carbon. So there would be no life on the earth, right? So the characteristics of the remarkable carbon atom, it makes possible the compounds that are necessary for life on the earth are ours, right? And carbon is also part of non-living things also, such as the oceans, rocks, like limestones, right? And also animals, shells in the atmosphere. So this is the difference.
Yes. PPT share చేశారా మేడం?
చేస్తాను, ఇది అయిపోయినాక రెండు చేసిస్తాను నేను. ఓకే,
అదే మేడం ఇక్కడ కనపడట్లేదు మేడం స్క్రీన్ లో.
అచ్చా, మీకు కనపడట్లేదా? దీంట్లో షేర్ చేయలేదా నేను? రైట్, వెయిట్, చేశాను కదా, వస్తుంది.
నాకు రావట్లేదు అందుకే.
ఇట్స్ కమింగ్ అప్ నా పీపీటీ.
It is coming, ma'am.
Okay.
Coming.
Durgesh.
Yes, it's coming.
It once. Okay.
You log out and log in again. Maybe then it will come.
Right. So what is the carbon cycle? This is the definition. So some people's drawing this. I think.
You did not draw, ma'am?
No.
Okay. We also can draw, ma'am.
Yeah.
When you are taking a class. Okay.
You can take the class. Just wait, I will upload.
Ma'am, this is fine. It's.
Wait. I will share. Okay, is it clear? Is it able to see? PPT? Anyone?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, right.
I can see.
Okay. Okay, right. So this is the carbon cycle definition. So circulation of carbon from atmosphere to biosphere, hydrosphere. Here you see this figure, and lithosphere, and return back to its atmosphere. So this is called carbon cycle, right? So what happens here? Carbon does not carbon does not just stay in one place, right? So however, it's always on the move, right? So carbon atoms continually move through living things, the oceans, and the atmosphere, in the crust of the earth also. So this movement is known as the carbon cycle, right? So why carbon cycle is important? Anybody? Why carbon is essential? Why?
Because of photosynthesis. Without carbon, photosynthesis will not happen, ma'am. That's why carbon is very important in that.
Yeah, right. Very good. So many elements have cycle, right? So, but the cycling of carbon atoms, it is particularly important. Why? Because through photosynthesis and respiration, So it is the way the earth produces food and other renewable resources, right? So carbon dioxide plays a key role in the trapping heat in the atmosphere, right? So one of the basic mechanisms behind the greenhouse effect also, right? So carbon plays a central role in combustion, right? This is very important. And through decomposition, and it serves as the earth waste disposal system also. So in addition, this carbon cycle is important because carbon containing gases in the atmosphere that is affected to the earth climate, right? And of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it has been responsible for more than half of the climate warming observed in some recent decades or recent years, right? So you see here, this one also. So carbon is an essential element in the bodies of living organisms. This is also very important. And it is also economically important to modern humans in the form of what? Fossil fuels. So carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is taken up by the photosynthetic organisms, right? So this is very, very important. And also respiration, right? So about 18% of your body, it consists of carbon atoms. You remember this 18%, right? So without carbon, you will not have the plasma membranes of your cells. So that carries instructions to your body. And carbon is part of our bodies, and it is also part of our modern day industries. And carbon compounds from long ago plants, algae make up the fossil fuel, such as what? Coal, natural gas, so that we use today as energy sources. So when these fossil fuels dissolve, carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. So that is leading to higher level of atmospheric carbon dioxide, right? You see, so carbon dioxide molecule is made up of one part of carbon and two parts of oxygen, right? So, you see now. So from the atmospheric carbon dioxide how to enter? Enters into the plants through photosynthesis, right? Photosynthesis, that is to synthesize food particles. So what is the photosynthesis?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking little bit.
Okay, wait, just. Okay, right. So photosynthesis, what is the photosynthesis? So photosynthesis means photos. Photos means photos. Up to here, photos means
light.
Okay, right? So synthesis means putting together, right? Yes. Photos and synthesis. These two words are Greek words, right? Greek words. Greek. Okay? So photosynthesis is the process by which the plants or leaves prepare or make their own food, right? So using carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. So, and in the absence of sunlight, a plant cannot prepare its own food, daily food, right? So during this photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is taken into the plant and changed into the plant food. So the carbon is stored in this food, right? So you see this picture. So when green plants, right? So undergo the process of this photosynthesis, right? So
your voice is getting stuck. If you're speaking something, can't hear properly.
Why? I don't know actually.
Whenever you're using the mouse, no, ma'am, and pointing towards something, then only your voice is getting stuck. Maybe because of that.
Okay, no problem. So now it's clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. So these green plants undergoes the process through photosynthesis, right? That is to make food. They absorb carbon dioxide, right? This one.
Ma'am, just the cursor is moving, nothing is coming.
Okay, right. So they absorb food and carbon dioxide from this air. Okay. Then next, plants, they fix the carbon dioxide in the process of this photosynthesis, and it is made to carbohydrates and proteins and also other kind of organic compounds such as what is that, glucose, right? And the next, how the carbon dioxide enter into the animals. Yeah, you see here this picture. So carbon dioxide enters into terrestrial organisms when the plants are eaten by them, right? This one. So you see this carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide. Okay. So the carbon elements stored in plants is then transferred to the animals. So this one, right? So when those are eating these plants, right? So what happened here? The plants are eaten by these animals. So the carbon transferred to the organic compounds of these animals.
Ma'am, through the animals, can they transfer to us also?
Yeah. Just wait, I will tell you, okay? This is only how to enter into the animals' carbon dioxide, right? So then next, how to enter into the, what is this?
Soil, ma'am.
Soil, right? Okay. Now this something happens here. Okay, right. So when these organisms die, you see here. So carbon enters into the soil. How? So when huge amount of trees got buried under the soil, right? By the earthquakes or some other reasons, it forms what? Coal, C-O-A-L, coal, right? So coal is a large deposit of forest under the absence of air and high temperature. It forms the coal, right? So certain carbon is trapped in the form of coal in this ground. So even certain animals which got buried under the layer of soil, they form the, what is that? Petroleum. Okay, petrol.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So
from fossil fuels, no, ma'am?
Yeah. So how to form the coal? Huge amount of trees got buried under this soil, right? So when the earthquakes is coming or some other reasons, it forms coal. And the next, petroleum. Animals which got buried under the layer of soil, they form the petroleum, right? So the organic compounds that are formed from the air by photosynthesis from plants and from the plants to the animals, right? So these organic compounds, when they got buried in the soil, they form the fossil fuels like petroleum and coal, right? So whatever the fossil fuels were burning, right? So now using for other various uses, all these fossil fuels are the carbon compounds. Carbon compounds. Petroleum is a carbon compound and coal is a carbon compound, right? So
yes,
next, when the plants and animals are dying, their dead bodies are released what?
Carbon
dioxide into the soil. Okay. So next, how to enter into the water? Carbon dioxide, right? So when carbon enters into the water as carbonates, which are helpful for aquatic plants to perform photosynthesis, right? So the carbon dioxide which dissolve in the water, it falls carbonates in the water, carbonates, okay, carbonates. So you see here, and also in the rocks, carbon is also available as limestones. So limestone means CaCO3, chemical composition. So an even greater amount of carbon that is stored for millions of years is incorporated into the shells of marine organisms. Right? So when these, yes? Okay, when these organisms die, what happens? Their shells sink to the ocean floor and sediments cover them, forming cemented together from this limestone, right? Like this. It's the limestone. So the organic compounds in the animals in certain sea animals, right? So the shells are made up of what? Carbonates. That is calcium carbonate, right? So in the living organisms in animals, how the carbon is there, right? So that is animal bodies, even animal bones, right? So I'm asking something. Tell me, what is your bone made up of? Tell me, anybody. What?
calcium, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay. Salt of calcium. Sorry, calcium. So bone is a salt of calcium and it is a salt of carbon and carbonate salts. So that is calcium carbonates. Calcium phosphate also. So your bones are packed with the carbon. So your cells are made up of carbon compounds like proteins, lipids, and also carbohydrates, right? So the carbon compounds are the organic compounds. They form the organic compounds in the bodies of the animal and also plants, right? Then next, how carbon dioxide to return to the atmosphere. So up to here, how carbon dioxide enter into the animals, plants, and water, right? Then next, how to return, right? So up to here, discussed only how to enter carbon dioxide into the animals, plants, right? So now we will learn about how carbon dioxide to return into the atmosphere. So those are how from fossil fuels and from respiration of animals and from burning of wood, so that's called combustion, right? And from motor vehicles, from cement manufacturing factories, and also so many industries. And this finally deforestation. This is also very important, right? So now you can see one by one fossil fuels. See here. So when these right animals, they die, they decomposed, right? They decomposed. Then they get decomposed the carbohydrate, right? Carbohydrates and also other compounds, and main thing, carbon dioxide. It is released into the air atmosphere, right? So, and here carbon is being moved through decomposition, right? So this is from fossil fuels and from respiration of animals. So how carbon dioxide return to atmosphere from respiration? So carbon on the move through respiration. Respiration means that breathing, right? So during respiration, animals, you see here, animals, this one, take in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, right? Take oxygen and breathe out CO2. Even humans also same like?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. Okay, so wherever these organisms, even though they are living, they carry out respiration in their bodies. So they are released the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Okay, so carbon dioxide is released by the plants and animals when they are living. So when they are died, when their bodies is decomposed, the carbon dioxide from the plants and animals escape into the atmosphere, right? So in this way, they reaches back to the atmosphere, right? So you remember photosynthesis and respiration. Photosynthesis and respiration, these are same or not? Photosynthesis and respiration. Anybody? These are same or not?
No, ma'am, they are not same.
Yeah,
Actually,
okay, very good. Okay. So these are essentially the opposite of each other, right? So photosynthesis removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and replaced it with, what is that? Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Right? So respiration takes oxygen from the atmosphere and replace it with carbon dioxide. Opposite. Okay? So however, these processes are not in balance. Right? So you see from burning of wood, that is called combustion. Right? So this process of burning or combustion, it may return the carbon in oil, coal, natural gas, and also wood. So that is to the atmosphere. So in combustion are organic molecules. So these are rapidly oxidized and converted to carbon dioxide and water with released of light and heat also. Right? So you see here, burning wood releases burning wood releases what? Carbon stored over the previous decades in one thick burst, right? So for an equal amount of heat or electricity, it releases more carbon dioxide than burning gas and oil and also even coal. So straight away, we have more carbon dioxide in the air from burning wood, right? So this should be reabsorbed as trees regrow, right? So this is the burning of woods. You see here, this picture. Then next, from motor vehicles and industries. So modern transportation relies heavily on petroleum, right? And passenger cars and also light duty trucks. Sport vehicles, pickup trucks, some minivans, right? So those are contribute half of the carbon dioxide emissions from the carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. You see this one like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then next from cement manufacturing countries. So in this cement manufacturing, there are two major sources of carbon dioxide emissions. So the primary, first one is, that is 60% of total emissions. Remember this? 60% of total emission. So the primary source is the calcination of limestone, CaCO3, CaCO3, right? So when heated to above 900 degrees Celsius, right? 900 degrees Celsius. Okay. So it converts to thick. What is that? Lime. It means CaO. So this is releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So up to 900 degrees centigrade heat, right? So cement is an important construction and ingredient produced in virtually all countries, right? So carbon dioxide is byproduct of chemical conversion process used in the production of clinker. So clinkers, all of you know about these clinkers?
Heard the name first time, but seen it, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So that is using in some these factories, cement factories, right? And components of cements. So
cement factories are the first major who produce carbon dioxide, no, ma'am?
What is that?
Cement factories are the main carbon dioxide producers, no, ma'am?
Yeah, right. Right? So limestone is converted to lime, that is called CaO. Okay. So this is from cement manufacturing, produce carbon dioxide heavily up to 60%. Then next, deforestation. So this is also very important. So all of you know about this deforestation. Okay. So trees and other plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere as they grow, right? So this is converted into carbon and stored in the plants, branches or leaves, and also trunks and roots also, right? And the soil. So when forests are cleared or burned, stored carbon is released into the atmosphere, mainly as carbon dioxide, right? So this is the deforestation. You can write any simple words. You can write simple words, this deforestation. Okay, you see this, the global carbon emissions from fossil fuels only. Remember this, fossil fuels only, from fossil fuels. Okay, so the year of 1900 to 2014 data, right? So since carbon dioxide emissions have increased by about 90%, right? 90% with emissions from this fossil fuel combustion, and also some industrial processes contributing about 78% of the total greenhouse gases emissions, right? So an increase from this you see here 1970 to 2010 or 11 here, right? This 70, right? So up from here, increasing, right? So agriculture, deforestation, and also other land use changes have been the second largest contributor, right? Then next you see this figure also. This is the global carbon dioxide emissions. This is also fossils and land use from the post global carbon budget, right? So this is the latest. So this figure below shows 2022 maybe. So this solid blue line, you see this blue line, right? And dashed blue. So in 2022, that is red, right? You see here, red, blue, and straight, right? So this is the variation from 1960 to 2020. You see the level of carbon dioxide, how to increase here. Okay. Then next, this is also. So this is 2022 only. That is fossil and land use. Okay. You see this figure, fossils, right? And land use components. So fossils carbon dioxide emissions represent the bulk of total global emissions in recent years, according for approximately 91% of emissions in the year of 2022, right? So this represents a large change from the first half of the 20th century. So when land use emissions were approximately the same as fossil emissions also, right? Fossil fuels. So this is the global carbon dioxide emissions of 2022, right? Then next you see this diagram, you see the exchange of the gases, right? So carbon dioxide and oxygen between plants and animals. Okay. So this is oxygen, you're breathing and going out carbon dioxide. So all of you listen carefully. Everyone or everybody plant some plants in your home or in a house, right? At least one plant you can plant. Okay. So this is the carbon cycle. Just wait. Any doubts in this carbon cycle?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay, I will upload another PPT. Just wait.
Is it very big, ma'am?
Yes.
Is the next PPT very big?
No, it is small. Okay, no problem. So we'll finish within 20 minutes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Only 14 slides we have. Okay, no worries. So we'll finish quickly. So solution of global warming. Maximum all of you know what is the solutions of global warming, right? But I can explain. So global climate change. So it is certainly one of the top environmental issues today, right? Okay. So global warming is a dangerous effect on our environment. So that we are facing these days, all of you know. So increase in the population. What is the reason? Increase in the population growth, pollution, and also rapid industrialization. So these are causing a rise in global warming, right? So global warming is a gradual process of heating and rising temperature in the Earth surface and atmosphere, including oceans and also ice caps, right? So what are the causes? Anyone? Causes. Before I told in morning classes, so
Yes.
those are, right. Two, right? What is that? Human and man-made. Right? Sorry, natural and man-made. Okay. So now there are many causes of global warming. That warming is a danger for the existence of our life on the Earth. So the most evident causes of global warming are industrialization and deforestation and sophisticated human activities also. So these human activities have led to an increase in emissions of the greenhouse gases, right? And that is resulting of this, the temperature increasing and melting glaciers also. So in fact, you see here, the average temperature of the planet, it has increased by 0.8, right? 0.8 degrees Celsius. It means 33.4 degree Fahrenheit, right? 33.4. So that is compared to the end of the 19th century only, not 20th century, 19th century. So each of the last 3 decades, it has been warmer than all previous decades since the beginning of the statistical survey. What is the beginning of statistical survey year? 1850. Okay? 1850. Right? So the pace of current carbon dioxide emissions, some of the scientists expect an increase of between 1.5 and 5.3 degrees Celsius in average temperature by the 2100 years, right? So, in case if no action is taken, what is happening? It would have harmful consequences to humanity in the atmosphere, right? So when the heat trapping greenhouse gases are increasing, and what is happening? So automatically global temperature is rising, increasing, and earth is warming, and glaciers are melting, and the sea level is also rising, right? So this weather change is drastically affecting wildlife and forest, right? So you see some of the consequences of global warming, right? So it leads to what is that? Temperature on earth increases, heat waves. You can write all these, any 10 or 5 or anything, right? So consequences and also explain, right? So it leads to these droughts, in rainfall, hurricanes, extreme heat waves, and also other extreme weather conditions, right? So with these adverse effects of global warming happening across the planet, we need to implement ways to stop global warming and protect our planet, right? So now here there are some simple actions, right? Are simple solutions you can take the help reduce the global warming, right? You see here, first one is recycle more, recycle, right? So the aim is cut down the amount of carbon dioxide that is released in the environment, right? So if you even recycle half of the waste produced at home, you can save up to how much? 2,000 pounds. It means 1 ton, right? 1 ton of carbon dioxide every year. Every year, remember this, every year. Okay? So this is recycling, and you can write driveless. Driveless means air pollution, right? So air pollution is one of the major factors that leads to an increase in greenhouse gases, right? So minimize the use of cars and make use of public transportation.
Ma'am, nowadays each house has at least 2 cars.
Yes? Cars, right? Cars and two-wheelers.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody has nowadays.
Yeah.
People will be less, but cars will be more.
Yeah. But try to walking and biking. These are the great forms of exercise.
Yes, ma'am.
Whenever possible. Okay. So even vacations can provide opportunities to reduce your carbon footprint, right? If you reduce the driving hours, you will end up saving 1 pound, right? 1 pound means 454 grams, 454 grams of carbon dioxide for every, not year, every mile, every mile. So this is, you can write drive less. Okay. Then next, switch to renewable energy. So one of the most effective ways to prevent global warming is to start using these renewable energy sources such as the solar, right? solar and geothermal and this wind and biomass, right? So, and start using fossil fuels also. So use this renewable energy resources to supply power to your home or your office or any, okay? Then next, so use energy efficient devices also, okay? So by investing in energy efficient devices such as, what is that? These bulbs, right? And also LED lights or solar powered system, you can reduce the energy consumption and it help in the production of clean energy. So it is not only the cheapest way, that is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but it also reduce the amount of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere. So avoid some products that come with excess packaging, especially molded plastic and packaging that cannot be recycled, right? So if you reduce your household garbage by 10%, you can save how much? 1,200 pounds of carbon dioxide annually per year, right? This one. Then next, use less hot water. Okay. So do you know you can save 500 pounds. It means 50 grams. 50 grams of carbon dioxide per year if you switch to cold showers and stop using hot water to wash clothes also, right? So try installation energy efficient geysers that consumes less energy, right? Next, turn off electronic devices. So some of lazy fellows, those are do not turn off, right? So ensure turning off your electronic devices such as TV, computers, stereos, some of music play, right? So when not in use. So this can help in saving fuel. So that is used to generate electricity, which in turn can reduce 1,000 tons of carbon dioxide. How much? 1,000 tons. 1,000 tons of carbon dioxide released in the atmosphere. So save electricity and reduce global warming by turning off lights when you leaving your room, right? And using only as much lights as you need. And remember to turn off your television and video player, stereos and computer when you are not using them, right? This one. And spread awareness. So this is speak up about global warming, its consequences and causes, and what steps we can take to prevent global warming with your friends, family friends, or colleagues, neighbors, right? So use the power of social media also to voice out your concern about this global warming or climate change, right? And then next, save water. So make sure that is turn off taps while brushing, go for shorter showers, and do not waste water by cleaning your cars or bikes, right? So it's also a good idea to turn off the water when you are not using it. So while brushing your teeth, shampooing of your dog, washing your cars, etc., right? Then next, one child. So more humans means more greenhouse emissions, right? So only one child is good child. Okay. Then next, plant trees. So deforestation. Deforestation plays an important role in global warming, right? And climatic changes also. So planting trees is helpful as they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and regulate the climate. So hence there is a direct need to plant more trees because a single tree can absorb how much? 1 ton. 1 ton of carbon dioxide in its lifetime. You see. So this is the greenhouse solutions, right? And global warming. Okay. So today 2 topics is over. Okay. Can I start?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I will upload in your group this PP, 2 PPTs. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Ma'am, morning PPT also.
Yeah, okay, right. Another maximum nidrosundemo. Continue. So, okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Shall
ma'am.
we start?
Ma'am, tomorrow, same timings.
Same time. I will post the timings, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Because Vasanthi madam, when will she take? I don't know exact time. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
At 10:30, 11 or 11:30.